What's up guys, I'm the East Coaster fan, and today I want to talk about something that Adventureland released today that really got me thinking. But before we talk about this, I just hope that everyone is staying safe with this whole COVID-19 thing. If we just wait a little bit longer, we'll be back riding the coasters in no time. But anyway, let's get to the topic of this video. So today, Adventureland released this survey to guests talking about ways on which they can improve park operations when they eventually reopen. Now, most of the questions are very similar to the surveys that Universal and other similar parks have done. However, the last question is really interesting and made me want to make a video on this. So the question says that if Adventureland were to charge admission, requiring everyone entering the park to pay, this would eliminate the need for pop bans. This means you will have less contact with park employees. How likely are you to visit the park under these circumstances? Now I'm going to get to what I personally think towards the end of the video, but I want to go over this question again. If Adventureland were to charge admission, requiring everyone entering the park to pay, this would eliminate the need for pop bans. Now pop bans standing for pay one price bans. This is basically what many similar places have where you buy a wristband and you can ride everything. Now, I believe in the entire history of Adventureland, they've always been a pay-per-ride park, meaning that you have to pay to go on each ride. So this would be a really big move if Adventureland was going to change to a pay-to-enter park. But it made me wonder if this would work at all. Now, I was trying to think of as many pros and cons as I could, just so that each side could be fair. And I found two for each. So first we're going to go over the pros. The first thing is that it would definitely make the employees' jobs a lot easier. One of the problems that many places with wristbands and tickets have is that they'll sometimes let people on without tickets, and sometimes the guests will be rude and swap their pop bands or reuse it from another day, which could ultimately hurt their business. So making people pay to enter will definitely improve that and definitely make the park better money than it would just paying per ride, because you gotta remember, most of these people in the park, especially the parents, aren't riding the rides. It's mainly a kids park. That being said, it's also gonna make the park a lot safer. Since there's a lot of younger kids in the park, it'll prevent people who are rude or could be dangerous from entering the park. Now that being said, Adventureland does have pretty good security who guards the two entrances, and there's security roaming around the park at all times. I've seen that plenty of times when I've gone. But keeping it pay to enter will definitely improve this. Now, the cons to this are pretty big. Now, since I'm no longer a little kid, sometimes I won't be going into Adventureland and riding rides, especially as a coaster enthusiast. Sometimes I'll just go ride Turbulence and leave, sometimes I'll just take pictures. So this is definitely a negative when looking at the adults, because then the adults, who most of them aren't going to be riding the rides, they're going to be forced to pay, let's say, $30 to $40 to come in. Now looking at the prices now, we see that a general pay one price wristband is about $34 a person, and the single day tickets are $1.50 each, with each ride costing 3 to 5 tickets. So making each person pay will definitely limit the amount of people coming into the park. This isn't a park like a Six Flags or Cedar Fair where you can spend the whole day here. They know that most of these people are going to be here for a few hours. Some people are here for like birthday parties. And there's also many guests that just come at night and ride the rides. So paying this big price just to enter will definitely limit the amount of people coming in. And the last thing I want to talk about is the size of the park. Now there are parks smaller than this, like Land of Make-Believe, I'd say, that do charge the full price to enter. But this park, I think, is just designed to work with the ticketing system. Now you have the 2 entrances, so I mean they could possibly keep those 2 entrances if they were to pay to enter. But you'd also need turnstiles. You probably need like lines outside the park. Plus you got the ticket booths inside the park. You got one on the outside and then one right next to the arcade inside of the park. So this will probably mean that ticket booth would probably cease to exist, and it would just be the back ticket booths where you can buy your full price ticket. Also, the amount of rides in the park aren't enough to make people want to pay to enter. Don't get me wrong, they fit a lot of rides inside a small space, but this isn't like a Six Flags or Cedar Fair or even Disney where the park's huge and you can keep riding all day. Most people just ride a couple rides and leave. And there's nowhere to expand the park as well because it's surrounded by industry. As you could probably guess, I'm not a big fan of this idea. I think the way that Adventureland is run now is just how the park works best. If people were charged to enter, then that would really, I think, ruin their business. Now again, this is just a survey question, and if they were ever to change the park to a pay-to-enter park, I think it would just be for 2020. I don't see it going any further. But I thought it was an interesting idea and concept that Adventureland is looking at. I never thought they'd be considering ever changing the park to pay to enter. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!